Hello and welcome to another episode of Live, Think, Grow. My name is Regina Silva and I help young professionals have zero stress, balance, and fulfillment in their lives. Now, given everything that is happening, today is all about anxiety and stress, why we get it and what you can do to cope with it. That's right, I know I'm not alone in that I'm not the only one who has experienced anxiety in their life. I don't know about you, but anxiety is the worst. And I know I'm saying it kind of in a joking way, but it can seriously have huge detrimental effects on our lives. And personally, I used to suffer from intense anxiety from the age of 7, 8 up until 2 years ago when I started doing this technique that I'm going to talk about. And of course, like I said, given all of the chaos that we're all going through, knowing that we are going through huge global change right now, what a better time to talk about this. Because really, no matter what is coming up for you, I want you to know that you are supported and that there are ways that you can manage stress and anxiety during this time. Keep in mind, I am nomadic, so where I film is always changing. Today, I happen to be shooting in Brazil, and I'm outside, as you can tell, so the elements are working with me. Hopefully the mic is picking up my voice. We got wind, the ocean in front of me, which I'm gonna have to show you the view in a second here, and birds and noises. So I hope that through all of this, you're still able to stay focused, hopefully hear everything I'm saying. Now, I did a poll with all of my followers, and 91% of you said that at some point you have felt anxiety, which is super natural, right? This is a human biological response that we, as the animals we are, have been programmed to have to really help us to survive. And even though we were evolved to have this trait doesn't necessarily serve us in every capacity of our lives. Now, I know you know what I'm talking about when I say that anxiety can really take over things, can really put a dent on your day to day. It can keep you from sleeping. It can, increase stress. It can really have a detrimental effect on your life and how you relate to other people. So it's really important that we learn ways to better cope with anxiety so that we can at least reduce it and have a more stress-free and balanced life. Okay, so why do we get anxiety? It's so annoying, right? Tell me if this has been you, right? You wake up, maybe it manifests in your stomach and you feel just knots in your stomach and an elevated heart rate, and you're stressed out and you can't stop thinking about the thing, whatever it might be, and you just wish that you could stop, but you can't. And no matter what you do, this one thing just keeps going on a cycle in your mind, and it increases your stress levels and tension, and maybe your body starts to freak out, and you are just in a worry zone. Maybe this isn't you and you haven't felt this as intensely, but in some way, we have all, at one point or another, felt this dreaded feeling. Now, as animals, the reason that we evolved to have this response comes from this very primal instinct to survive. Now, anxiety is all part of stress, right? They're linked together. And as animals, when we are faced with a predator, so say I am what are those things called that come out of the ground? It's in Lion King. Oh! Prairie dog. Okay, I got this. So say you're a prairie dog, right? Prairie dog, you're faced with a predator. You see a vulture. I think that's one of the prairie dog's predator circling around. Maybe it's a hawk. Well, as animals, we have a fight or flight instinct when faced with a dangerous situation that could possibly lead to death. So in that moment, biologically, the prairie dog gets a signal to its brain to stop digestion, to save energy, to either fight, so face the predator head on, to battle it out for survival, or to get the F out of there before they get eaten alive. In this moment, this stress hormone, cortisol, gets elevated in our bodies, or in the prairie dog's body. The same thing happens to us. This is also where we get an increased level of adrenaline, right? Because it's preparing us to run. We don't need to use it on anything else except for pure survival mode. Now, this is exactly what happens to us, right? We are also animals. But the difference is that in today's day and age, it's not necessarily that we're faced with like a lion or a bear that is about to kill us. Our predators manifest in different ways, right? This could be stress from our job. It could be stress from what's currently happening right now. It could be the loomingness of not knowing what's going to happen next. These things can all trigger the same primal instinct in all of us. Now, the thing about this response is it is detrimental to our bodies, right? It can manifest in our body as dis-ease, disease. It can really take a toll on our digestion, for instance, because our energy isn't being sent there. It's being sent other places to ensure our survival. So really, when we are anxious or stressed, it's not only not good for our mental well-being, it can really take a physical toll on our bodies. So it's really important that we find ways to manage it. Okay, so I'm telling you where anxiety/stress comes from. Now, what do we do about it? Well, there are many different ways that you can cope with anxiety, but today I want to specifically focus on 2 ways to do this. One is much simpler. You can literally use it on the spot. The other one will come at no surprise because I literally talk about it all the time, and I say that I literally talk about it all the time. So if you know me and you know what I talk about, I know you're going to know what the second thing is. So let's check it out. Okay, so the first thing is I want to give you a technique that helps you ease from feelings of anxiousness and anxiety, stress, almost instantly. And it is so simple, you're going to be like, what? And that is breathing. There's a little bit more specific way to breathe, which I'm going to talk about right now. And that is breathing in for a certain number. So say for 4, and then breathing out, exhaling twice the number that you inhaled. So that would look like breathing in for 4, breathing out for 8. Now, what you want to do is you want to rinse and repeat this until you feel yourself, your heart rate, calm down. This technique is really powerful because, again, this is all rooted in a biological response. So in order for us to cope with the biological response, we can use our biological response to heal it. That's how powerful our mind, body, soul connections are. Now, what happens when we breathe this way is that we allow our bodies to enter a parasympathetic state, also known as rest and digest. It's literally the opposite of fight or flight. So by breathing and connecting to our breath, we signal to our bodies that we are not in danger. This not only will start to reduce the stress hormone that is being released in your brain, but it will manifest in having you feel much more calm and in the present moment. Which brings me to the second technique, which is meditation. Now, in a way, the breathing technique that I just explained is a meditation. However, it's really important that if you do experience a lot of anxiety, that you make meditation a habitual practice. Now, from personal experience, I wholeheartedly believe that meditation cured my anxiety. Because when I first did my yoga teacher training, we actually had to meditate for at least 40 minutes a day. And I started doing that for 30 days, and I saw drastic improvements in my feelings of worriness and anxiousness. So if anxiety is something that you suffer from, and again, especially during this time, I really urge you and encourage you to commit to meditating habitually. And it's a ripple effect, right? If you are taking time to sit still and to take care of your body and your mind, it's the foundation for all other areas in your life. So you're going to see improvements in your connections, in your relationship to yourself, in your financial world, in your health, mental and physical well-being, everything The way we take care of ourselves is a reflection of our entire external reality. So I hope that you're walking away from this episode today with a little bit of insight. All I want to do is to make sure that during this time that you are taken care of, that we are all being blessed with an abundance of time to turn inwards. So I urge you to use this time wisely and take care of yourself. And know that if you need any support, I am here. That's all for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to click subscribe. Also, definitely follow me on Instagram. Give me a shout out. Say, hey, what's up? I love meeting new friends and making social media social again. That is at Regina O. Silva. And if you want to see more about what I do in terms of coaching, feel free to give my Facebook page a like. That's facebook.com/live, think, grow. Until next time, happy living.